students, in this session you are going to learn 12th standard computer science 5th chapter Python variables and operators. The main concept you are going to learn in this session: tokens and types of tokens, identifiers, keywords, delimiters, literals and operators. What is token? The smallest individual unit in a program is called token. It is also called as lexical unit. What do you mean by lexical unit? Why this token is called as lexical unit? Python breaks each logical line into sequence of elementary lexical components. So it is called as lexical unit. Okay. How many types of tokens are allowed in Python? There are 5 types of tokens available in Python. What are they? First one is identifiers, second one is keywords, third one is delimiters, fourth one is operators, and last one is literals. So there are 5 types of tokens. What are they? Identifiers, keywords, delimiters, operators, literals. Okay. So let us discuss about these tokens one by one. Okay. First, let us see about identifiers. So, what do you mean by identifiers? What is the use of identifier? It is used to define the names of objects. An identifier is a name used to identify a variable or functions or class or module or object. Okay. Python defines some rules in defining identifiers. Okay. It defines some rules. What are they? First rule is an identifier must start with alphabet or underscore. Okay. Alphabet means what? Capital alphabet letters and small alphabet letters A to Z. Okay. Uppercase alphabet letters and lowercase alphabet letters. Okay. So you can start with any alphabet and underscore. Underscore means what? This is the underscore. For example, A underscore. This is called underscore. So you can start with the underscore also. Okay. But you should not start with numbers. For example, sum, total underscore marks, register number. You can give the identifier name like this. Okay. But it should not start with numbers, which means 8 num. It is wrong. Okay. And next point, Python identifiers are case sensitive. So what do you mean by case sensitive? Case sensitive means uppercase and lowercase letters are distinct, which means capital letter A and small letter A. These two are different. Okay, not same. So this is one identifier name. This is another one identifier name. Okay. So these two are not same. Okay. For example, Python. Here uppercase P is given. Here lowercase p is given. So these two are different. Okay. So Python identifiers are case sensitive. Next point, identifiers must not be a Python keyword. Keyword is nothing but reserved word. Okay, special word. Python interpreter only uses these keywords. So you cannot able to use the keyword as identifier. So for example, continue, if, else. These are the keywords. If you are giving these keywords as an identifier name, it will display syntax error. Okay. So these keywords are not acceptable for identifiers. Okay. Next point, Python does not allow punctuation character within identifier. So Python does not allow the punctuation marks within identifier. Punctuation characters means what? Percentage symbol, dollar symbol, edge symbol. These are called punctuation symbols. Okay. You cannot use these punctuation symbols as an identifier. Okay. For example, name dollar. So this is not accepted as an identifier. Okay. So this is about identifiers. Next, let us see about keywords. Keywords are nothing but special words, or you can say this reserved words. Okay. So the interpreter only uses these keywords. It does not allow users to use these keywords. So it can be used by the Python interpreter. It cannot be used for any other purpose. Programmers cannot use this keywords as identifier. So the Python interpreter only uses these keywords. So the example for keywords are false, class, finally, is, written, none, continue, for, lambda, try, true, def, from, non-local, oil, and, dull, global, not, with, us, elif, if, are, yield, assert, else, import, pass, break, except, in, raise. So these are the example for keywords. Okay. Next token is delimiter. What do you mean by delimiters? Symbols. Okay. These are called symbols and symbol combinations. So delimiters are nothing but symbols and symbol combinations that is used in expressions, list, dictionaries and strings. Okay. So it performs some special roles. These symbols are used for grouping of objects to names. These symbols are used for punctuations, and these symbols are used for binding purpose. These symbols are used for bitwise assignment of objects to names. Okay. So next token is literals. Okay. What do you mean by literals? Literals are nothing but raw datas. Okay. Literals are raw datas given in a variable or constant. So literal is defined as raw datas that is given in a variable or constant. Okay. So there are three types of literals. What are they? Numeric literal, string literal and boolean literal. Okay. Let us discuss about these literals one by one. Okay. So first, numeric literals. Numeric means what? Numbers. Okay. It consists of digits. Okay. Digits only. And these literals are unchangeable. Okay. Which means immutable. So it consists of digits and these literals are unchangeable, which means immutable. Okay. There are three types of numeric literals. What are they? Integer, float and complex. Integer numeric literal, float numeric literal, complex numeric literal. So integer means what? All the whole numbers. Okay. Which means 1, 2, 3, 0, 10, 20, 12, etc. Okay. Float means fractional numbers. Okay. Which means 3.5, 4.6, 10.3. So these are the example for fractional numbers, that is floating point numbers. Then complex means what? Complex numbers having two parts. What are they? Real and imaginary. Complex numbers having two parts, real and imaginary. For example, 1 plus 3.14j. Here 1 is the real number and 3.14j is the imaginary number. And 3 plus 4j. Here 3 is the real number and 4j is the imaginary number. 1 plus 2j. Here 1 is the real part and 2j is the imaginary part. Okay. So next literal is what? String literal. Okay. In string literal, sequence of characters surrounded by quotes. Quotes means what? This quotes means it may be single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. Single quotes means this is the single quotes. This is the double quotes. This is the triple quotes. Okay. So, a sequence of characters surrounded by quotes. Quotes may be single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. Okay. This Python language supports single, double and triple quotes for a string. Okay. So single character is surrounded within single or double quotes and multi-line string is surrounded within triple quotes. Okay. Example for single characters. This is the single character. You can write this within single quotes or within double quotes. Okay. So this is multi-line string. Here you have to give triple quotes. Okay. So for single character you can give single or double quotes. For multi-line string you have to give triple quotes. Okay. So next literal is Boolean literal. A Boolean literal can have any of the two values. Okay. Any of the two values means either true or false. Okay. This Boolean literal having two values, what are they? True or false? Okay. Here you have to evaluate the expression and it returns the result in the form of true or false. Okay. So let us see one example. Print 10 is greater than 9. 10 is greater than 9. This is the expression. So you have to evaluate this expression and it returns the result true or false. Okay. It returns true. Okay. Because 10 is greater than 9. So it returns the result is true. Okay. Next see another one example. Here expression is given 10 is equal to 9. This is false. Okay. So it returns the result false. This is the Boolean literal. And one more literal is given in your textbook. What is that? Escape sequences. Okay. What do you mean by escape sequences? In Python strings, the backslash, this is called backslash. Okay. This is a special character. This backslash is called as escape sequences. You can call this as escape character. Okay. Escape character. It is used to represent certain white space characters. So see some of the examples for escape sequences. Backslash, single quotes, double quotes, new line, tab. These are the escape sequences. Okay. Let us see one example why we are using this escape sequences. Let us see that. Okay. Text equal to how are you? This is a string. Okay. This is a string. The string is given within double quotes. If you want to use double quotes within this string that is surrounded by double quotes, you will get the error message. To avoid this problem, you have to use escape character. Okay, how will you use? See here, text equal to how are you? Here you have to give escape character. When you write this string, you will get the output how are you? Okay. If you are not giving this backslash, you will get the error message. Okay. But when you give backslash, you will get the correct output. Okay. So this is about escape sequences. Next, let us see about operators. What do you mean by operators? Operators are special symbols. Okay. See here, operators are symbols and delimiters are also called as symbols. Then what is the difference between them? Delimiters are not used for computations or calculations, but operators are used to performing calculations. For example, see here, these symbols are not used for any calculations. So these type of symbols are called delimiters. But plus, minus, we are using these symbols for calculations. Okay. So this type of symbols are called operators. Okay. So these operators are special symbols which represent computations and conditional matching. Conditional matching means true or false problems. Okay. These operators are special symbols which represent computation. Computation means calculations, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc. And conditional matching means calculations doing based on the condition. Okay. See here one example. Here plus is an arithmetic operator. The value of this operator is called operand. Okay. Whatever value you are using with this operator, that is called operands. Okay. Value means this 5 and 3 are called operands. Okay. Plus is the arithmetic operator. So values are called what? Operands. Okay. The operators are categorized as 5 types. There are 5 types of operators are present. What are they? Arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, and conditional operator. First, let us see about arithmetic operators. Okay. This arithmetic operator is also called as mathematical operator. Arithmetic operator is also called as mathematical operator. So it takes only 2 operands and performs calculations on them. It is used for simple arithmetic calculation. Okay. For example, 1 and 2 are 2 operands. It performs calculations using arithmetic operator plus. So 1 and 2 are operands. This plus is called arithmetic operator. Okay. Sum of arithmetic operators are plus operator, minus operator, multiplication operator, division operator, modulus operator, floor division operator, exponent operator. So this plus operator is used for performing addition. This minus is used for performing subtraction, and this multiplication operator is used for performing multiplication operation. Division operator is used for performing division operation. This modulus operator is used to return the remainder value of the division, and this floor division operator is used to returns the quotient value without the decimal values in the division operation. And this exponent operator multiplies the given number based on the power value. So let us see one Python program using these arithmetic operators. Okay. See here, this is the program. First let us take two values. A is equal to 100 and B is equal to 10. Okay. Next you have to print the sum is equal to A plus B. A is equal to what? 100. B is equal to 10. So A plus B means 100 plus 10. What is the answer? 110. Okay. Next, print the difference A minus B. So next operator is what? Minus operator. Okay. So A minus B. A is what? 100. B is 10. So 100 minus 10 what? 90. And next, print the product A into B. 100 into 10. Okay, 100 into 10 means what? 1000. Next, the quotient equal to what? A divided by B. A 100 divided by B 10. So 100 divided by 10 what? It returns the quotient value. Okay. What is the quotient value? 10. Okay. The next, percentage symbol, that is modulus operator. Okay. This operator returns the remainder value of the division. Okay. A modulus 30. What is A? 100. 100 and divide the 100 by 30. Okay. Divide the A by 30 and take the remainder value. Okay. That is the answer. So, what is the remainder value? 10. So, you have to take this remainder value. Okay. Next, the exponent. Okay. A into 2. How can you solve this? This means A square. Okay. What is the value of A? 100. Okay. So 100 square. 100 square means what? 10,000. Next, floor division. Okay. The floor division is equal to what? A floor division 30. Okay. Floor division means what? It returns the quotient value without the decimal point. Okay. Which means when you divide 10 by 3, you will get the answer 3.33 something. Okay. That is the quotient value. But in floor division, you have to write only this integer value. Okay. Avoid this fractional part. Which means avoid the decimal values. Okay. So, when you divide A by 30, A means what? 100 by 30, you will get 3.33 something you will get. Okay. But you have to take this integer value only. Okay. Ignore these fractional values. But in division, you have to write the whole quotient value. Okay. 3.33. But in floor division, you have to write integer value. Ignore the decimal values. Okay. So here result what? 3. Okay, this is the output for this program. So this is about arithmetic operators. Okay. Next, let us see about relational operator. Okay, this relational operator is also known as comparative operator because it is used to compare two values and returns the output in the form of true or false. Okay, it checks the relationship between two operands. Okay. Operands means what? Values. So it check the relationship between two values. Okay. So it compare two values, and if that comparison is true, then it returns the result true. If comparison is false, it returns the result false. Okay, some of the relational operators are is equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. Okay, so let us see a program using these relational operators. This is the program. Now you have to find out the output for this program. Okay, see here, a is equal to int input, enter a value for a. Here one string is given, what? Enter a value for a. Here you have to give the input value. Okay, let us assume a is equal to 100. Okay, and next b is equal to int input, enter a value for b. So let us assume b value is 35. Okay, next print a is equal to 100 and b is equal to 35. Or next print the a is equal to b. So now you have to compare these two values, a and b. Okay, a is what? 100, b is 35. 100 is equal to 35. This is true or false? This is false. Okay, so it returns the result false. Okay, next print a is greater than b. A is 100, b is 35. Okay, here given 100 is greater than 35. It is true or false? True. Okay, it is true. So it returns the result true. Next print a is less than b and compare these two values, a and b. Okay, here given 100 is less than 35. 100 is less than 35 is true or false? False. Okay, so it returns the result false. Next print a is greater than or equal to b. So compare these two values, a and b. 35. Compare these two values. Here given 100 is greater than or equal to 35. Here 100 is not equal to 35, but 100 is greater than 35. So it is true. Okay, because it is greater than 35. So it is true. Next, a is less than or equal to b. Compare these two values. 100 is less than or equal to 35. Here given 100 is less than or equal to 35. Okay, compare 100 is less than 35. No. 100 is equal to 35. No. So this is false. Okay, next print the a is not equal to b. Compare these two values. Okay, 100 is not equal to 35. So this is true or false? True. Okay, because 100 is not equal to 35. Okay, so this is true. So this is the output for this program using relational operator. Okay, so this is about relational operators. Next, let us see about logical operators. Okay, this logical operators used to perform logical operations on the given relational expressions, and it returns the result what? It returns the result true or false. Okay, so here some of the logical operators are given. What are they? Or, and, not. By using these operators, you have to do logical operations. So let us see one program. Okay, this is the program. You have to find out the output for this program using logical operators. Okay, here one variable is given, a is equal to int input, enter the value for a, and next b is equal to int input, enter the value for b. Now you have to enter the value for a variable and b variable. You can take any two values. Okay, like here I have taken 50 for a variable and 40 for b variable. And next print a is equal to, and write the value of a, and b is equal to, write the value of b. After that print the a is greater than b or a is equal to b. Here compare these two values and here compare these two values. Next do the logical operation or. Okay, what is the value for a? A is equal to 50, b is equal to 40. Okay, first you have to compare these two values. 50 is greater than 40. This is true or not? This is true. Okay, true means 1. Okay, true means what? 1. False means 0. Okay. And next, compare these two values. 50 is equal to 40. This is true or false? Not true. Okay, not true. False means 0. Okay, 0. So now you have to do the logical operation or. Logical operation or means plus. Okay. So 1 plus 0 is what? 1. Okay. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1 is what? True. Okay. It returns the result true. And next, print A is greater than B and A is equal to B. Okay. Here compare these two values. 50 is greater than 40 and 50 is equal to 40. Okay. See here. 50 is greater than 40. This is true or false? True. Okay. So 1. And 50 is equal to 40. Not true. Okay. So this is 0. So AND logical operator performs which type of operation? Multiplication. Okay. So 1 into 0, 0. Okay. So false. 1 means true, 0 means false. So here the result is false. Next, print the not A is greater than B is equal to not A is greater than B. So here write not A is greater than B means 50 is greater than 40. 50 is greater than 40. It is true or false? It is true. Okay. 1. This is not. So not true means what? False. Okay. Not true means false. So this is the output for this program using logical operators. Okay. This is about logical operators. Next, let us see about assignment operators. This assignment operator is used to assign a value to a variable. Okay. See here, A is equal to 5. Here, this equal to is called the assignment operator. This is simple assignment operator. Okay. This value 5 is assigned to this variable A. So, this is called the assignment operator. So, what is the use of assignment operator? It is used to assign a value to a variable. Okay. Suppose A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10. So, the 5 is stored in the variable A, 10 is stored in the variable B. This is one statement, this is another one statement. You can write these two statements in single line. Okay, how will you write? A comma B is equal to 5 comma 10. 5 is assigned to A variable and 10 is assigned to B variable. The variables and values are separated by comma. This comma is called as separator. Okay. See, some of the assignment operators are equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, multiplication and equal to, division and equal to, modulus and equal to, exponent equal to, and floor division equal to. Okay. Let us see a program using assignment operators. Okay. X equal to int input, type a value for X. So write this string. So what is the value for X variable? Let us take the value 10. Okay. See here, this is the initial value. Okay. Next, print X equal to what is X value? 10. And the next, print the X is equal to what is the value of X? 10. Okay. So here write X is equal to 10. So the result is what? 10. Next, X plus equal to 20. Print the X plus is equal to 20 is. So what is the result? Evaluate this expression. Okay. How will you evaluate? Right here, X plus equal to 20. What does it mean? X plus equal to 20. Here you have to perform the addition operation and next assign that result to X. Okay. Which means first you have to add this X with 20 and after that assign that result to X. Okay. That means X is equal to, what is the value of X? 10. 10 plus 20. So result what? X equal to 30. Okay, now our new X value is 30. Okay, next see X minus equal to 5. So print the X minus is equal to 5 is the X minus is equal to 5 is equal to, so now you have to evaluate x. Now our new x value is what? 30. Okay, so right here x value is what now? 30. X minus equal to 5. Okay, x minus equal to 5. Here you have to subtract this 5 from x and assign that result to the x variable. Okay, so x equal to x minus 5. Now what is the value of x? 30. 30 minus 5. So x equal to what? 25. Okay, now here write the result 25. Next, x into equal to 5. So print the x into equal to 5 is, now our new x value is what? 25. Okay, x equal to 25. Then again do the calculation, x into equal to 5. Here you have to multiply this 5 and x and assign that result to x variable. Okay, x equal to x into 5. What is the value of x? 25. 25 into 5 equal to 125. Okay, now our new x value is what? 125. Next, x division or equal to 2 and print the x division or equal to 2 is x. So what is the x value now? 125. X division is equal to 2. So write x equal to x divided by 2. So what is the value of x? 125. 125 divided by 2 what? Equal to 62.5. Okay, so here write 62.5. And next, x percentage, which means modulus is equal to 3. Print the x modulus is equal to 3 is x. Now our new x value is what? 62.5. Here write x modulus is equal to 3. Our new x value is what? 62.5. Write x modulus is equal to 3. Here it first perform modulus operation and returns the result to the variable x. X equal to x modulus 3. What is the value of x? 62.5. Okay, percentage 3. What is the answer? Modulus means you have to take remainder value. Okay, here you have to take the remainder value of the division. So divide this 62.5 by 3 and what is the remainder value? You will get the answer 2.5. Okay, so write 2.5. Next, x exponent is equal to 2. Print the x exponent is equal to 2 is x. First you have to do the exponential calculation for x and 2 and you have to assign that result to the x variable. Okay, so x equal to x exponent 2. Exponent means what? Power. Okay, x power 2, that is called exponent. Okay, here x power 2. X equal to x power 2 means x means what? 2.5 power 2. So x equal to 2.5 into 2.5. What is the result? X equal to 6.25. X equal to 6.25. So this is the result. Next, x floor division is equal to 3. Print the x floor division is equal to 3 is x. X floor division is equal to 3. Now our new x value is 6.25. X floor division is equal to 3. Here first you have to do the floor division calculation and next assign that result to the x variable, which means x equal to x floor division 3. Floor division means what? We already discussed about floor division in arithmetic operators. Okay, it returns the quotient value of the division without decimal values. Okay, you have to divide x by 3. X what? 6.25. 6.25 divided by 3. Take this 2 only. Okay, this is the quotient value 2. So this is about assignment operator. Okay. So next let us see about conditional operator. Okay, this conditional operator is also known as ternary operator. Okay, in conditional operator, one condition is given. Based on that condition, you have to do calculations. Okay, the syntax of conditional operator is variable name on true if text expression. Text expression means what? Condition. Okay, else on false. First, this condition is evaluated. If this condition is true, then you have to take this value. Here some value is given. You have to take this value. Okay. If this condition is false, you have to take this false value. Here some value is given. You have to take this value. Okay. For example, min is equal to 50. This is the variable name. This is the true value. And next write if. Next here write condition. Okay, text expression. 49 is less than 50. So this is the condition. Okay, next write else. Next here write false value. False value is what? 70. If this condition is true, then you have to take this value. If this condition is false, take this value for min variable. Okay, check this condition. Here condition is given 49 is less than 50. This is true or false? 49 is less than 50. This is true. Okay, true. So this condition is true. So what is the value for min variable? 50 or 70? This condition is true. So you have to take this value, that is 50. Okay, min value is what now? 50. Okay, this is the answer. Next, see another one example. Check this condition. Condition is given 49 is greater than 50. 49 is greater than 50 is true or false? False. So this condition is false. If this condition is false, you have to take which value? This value. Okay. So now the value for min variable is 70. Okay. So in conditional operator, first you have to check the condition. If that condition is true, then you have to take this true value. Otherwise, you have to take false value. Let us see one program. Okay. Two variables a comma b equal to 30 comma 20. 30 for a variable, 20 for b variable. Conditional expression min is equal to, this is the variable name, this is the true value. Next if this is the condition, a is less than b. Next else, this is the false value, b. So output is, write the value for min variable. Okay, what is the value? This is the conditional expression. Min is equal to a is what? 30. Next write if a is less than b. A what? 30 is less than b is 20. Okay, 20 else b 20. Here this is the true value. This is the false value. Variable is min. This is the condition. Check this condition. This is true or not? 30 is less than 20. This is not true. So if this condition is false, you have to take the false value. What is the false value? 20. So min value is what? 20. So here min is equal to 20. This is the output. So this is about conditional operator.
I hope you understand. Thank you, students.